Laundry day or not, how many of us struggle to decide what to wear when we're going for that daily bike ride? While I do get frequently asked what pants I'm wearing, not many of you have noticed that I've been often wearing this absolutely premium kit from the brand 7 Mesh. Fortunately, Jensen USA, a longtime supporter of my channel, has recently begun offering 7 Mesh apparel. Today I'll walk you through the gear that I've tried thus far, the stuff I love and the stuff I don't. Just so we're all on the same page, I have some links to all of these items covered here, listed in the description just below. The links all take you over to Jensen USA, who is a leading supplier of mountain bike apparel. Anything you purchase from those links will also help support my channel. Furthermore, Jensen has a great 90-day return window, so if you happen to order the wrong size, it's an easy process to exchange for the correct item. I actually don't have a formal apparel sponsor, and I'm hoping to keep it that way. I've been using gear from a bunch of different brands that Jensen USA offers. I did a video all about Endura clothing, which I'll link to below as well, and I've also been using gear from Royal Racing, Troy Lee Designs, and 2 brands that Jensen doesn't offer apparel from. Cockpit sponsor, PNW Components, and my former apparel sponsor, Kitspo. These days, I like not having a gear sponsor as it allows me to really get to understand the apparel marketplace without any restrictions or weird biases. Beyond Jensen USA, I am also supported by PNW Components and Industry 9. Before we dive into the gear, it's important that we take a look at who 7 Mesh is. It appears that the original founders were all longtime Arc'teryx employees, and they grouped up in 2013 to begin 7 Mesh. While Arc'teryx is located in downtown Vancouver and does not make any mountain bike specific clothing, 7 Mesh is located about an hour north in Squamish, BC, and has a distinct focus on making only mountain bike gear. Ian Martin, Tyler Jordan, and Callum Davidson all founded the company in 2013. The name 7 Mesh honors the First Nations people that inhabited the region that we all know as Squamish, which is a mountain bike mecca. So why am I mentioning Arc'teryx? Well, Arc'teryx has their own manufacturing facility, and they build their garments from the ground up. 7 Mesh claims that many of the current mountain bike clothing options are simply made by third-party factories and rarely incorporate any sort of custom design, just logo placement and material specifications. I don't know if that's true or not, or if that's even a big deal, but I can comment on 7 Mesh apparel. And while most of the 7 Mesh stuff fits amazing, I feel that almost nothing they offer fits like anything else I've personally tried. We'll go into detail about what's good about that and what's not as we go through their specific items. For full transparency, I did purchase most of the stuff myself from Jensen USA, though not at full retail pricing. That said, before they were actually available at Jensen USA, 7 Mesh sent me a care package with the pants and the Griffin jersey, along with a new jacket that's still, to this day, not available at Jensen USA either. We'll focus on the stuff that is available at Jensen. First up, the pants are excellent. I have used the Glidepath pant more than any other pant this winter, besides maybe that Endura spray trouser. The Glidepath is very different than the spray trouser, so they complement each other nicely. The Glidepath is very lightweight, and the cut is very specific to mountain biking. It's a baggy, soft-shell pant, but it's cut pretty tight around the ankles, and it actually takes a little concentration to get these over your heels. But the result is a pant leg that has a wonderfully tailored fit that won't be overly baggy. The legs are big enough that I can run my pelvis protector and knee pads. The waist adjusters do what they're supposed to do, and I don't even need to use the available belt loops. The traditional hand pockets are great, and there are 2 additional zippered pockets for anything you really can't afford to lose. The overall weight of these pants is very low thanks to the thin 4-way stretch nylon. While not fully waterproof, like those Endura pants, the DWR coating is easily reapplied and the pants breathe very well. I was able to ride these comfortably on a few of my recent trips to the desert, even when temperatures got up into the 70s. Speaking of the desert, the thin nylon is not as cactus resistant as some heavier, thicker fabrics. I haven't crashed badly in these pants yet, but they are holding up better than I expected, considering the light overall weight.
I do have a little hole in them right there.
These pants are great for all-around riding and even cross-country riding. They are indeed a really good high-end riding pant, and I'd recommend them. One of my favorite winter riding items are technical jerseys that also provide some warmth. Granted, this is something more relevant for northern states, but if it's in the upper 30-degree range or colder, the Griffin is really, really good. It compares directly to the Endura single-track fleece. The 7 Mesh offering has a more comfortable fabric, and the cut is a little more form-fitting, and the styling more subdued. Both have relatively long sleeves, but the 7 Mesh does have slightly longer sleeves than does Endura. So the Griffin is $30 more than the Endura offering. For purely riding, the Endura works great, and you can save some money. But I find myself wearing the Griffin pretty often when off the bike, and that's not the case with the Endura. The Griffin is that comfortable. In fact, I use it as a pajama top when I'm camping. If you want a very high-end, warm riding jersey, the Griffin is certainly worth it. To match the Glidepath pant, the compound jersey has been pretty darn good. It does dry very quickly. In fact, that's a common theme among 7 Mesh jerseys in general. The material 7 Mesh uses for the compound is also very stretchy. The Maubric color is certainly the brightest colored item 7 Mesh offers, and because of this, it's probably the only item you'll actually notice me wearing in my videos. Despite the lightweight, the compound has held up very well. I'm definitely happy with the compound. Is it worth 80 bucks? Well, that's about $10 or $20 more than a lot of generic long sleeve tech tees, and it does perform better, so I would generally say that yeah, it's worth it. I do wish there were more color options, not just for the compound, but for all 7 Mesh product. Black gear always looks dirty way faster than the brighter gear. The Sight jersey is indeed another short sleeve trail riding jersey. Admittedly, I have a hard time spending much money on a simple short sleeve jersey. Most of the jerseys do have a similar feel, so I tend to believe the 7 Mesh company line that most riding jerseys aren't actually made specifically for riding. Well, the Sight is really good. The cut has been great for me, and what I most appreciate about it is the material. It dries really fast, and it's a great compromise between thin and durable. I used the Sight as my main shirt for my BC backcountry motorcycle tour last summer, and with 6 days of constant riding and sweating, it never started to smell. In fact, it stayed nice and soft the whole time. So I guess that means I'm indeed a true dirtbag at heart, but a shirt like this works great. At just $60, I think it's priced competitively and worth it over the ubiquitous $40 to $50 random tech tee referred to as a jersey. Now the riding shorts. These are not items that are heavily in my own rotation anymore. I have ridden a ton with the Glidepath and a fair amount with the slab shorts. However, the cut on both of them doesn't quite do it for me. I'm 5'8", usually around 170 pounds, and typically run about a 31-inch waist.
Bangs into your leg.
Yeah.
The size medium short is just too big for both, but the medium pant fits very well. On the Glidepath short, the waist adjusters need to be pulled super tight, and I've had them slip a few times. The pockets on the Glidepath are also a little bit big, and contents would bounce around a little more than I'd like. While the price isn't terrible, I have a hard time justifying it over some of the other options out there. They do dry very quickly, and the snap closure is great, but you can spend half this on some other options and still have a great ride. The slab short has similar shortcomings, pun fully intended, in my experiences. I'm a little perplexed. The pants are so great, but a few small details have not been carried over to the shorts. I don't think you'll totally dislike either of these shorts, but for the money, there are other options that work very well. Now the chamois is where your money is best spent, and I do have a handful of rides on both pairs of 7 Mesh bib shorts here. The chamois are amazing in both, among the best I've ever personally used. That said, I don't use these bibs as much as I anticipated, mostly just when I was riding the Ibis XE or on other mellow cross-country rides. Here's why. I run knee pads almost always. With knickers rather than shorts, my knee pads get a much better grip and don't slip around. Also, my knees don't get chafed and scabbed like they do when riding with traditional shorts and knee pads. I usually leave my knee pads on all the time for climbing and for descending. I did have intentions of using the cargo pockets in this MK3 bib, but in reality, I almost always end up with a hydration pack and find that just easier and more comfortable. Many of you will likely love having shorts with pockets, so I'll let you discuss this in the comments below. How many of you like this style of pocket, perhaps in a specialized SWAT short, or have you tried this with the 7 Mesh MK3? I think it's awesome we've got 7 Mesh embracing our sport and pushing the envelope of what riding apparel should be. Most of this stuff I can recommend, and with the company's attention to detail, I bet they end up modifying their shorts to better mirror the performance of the pants. But anyhow, it's actually really tricky to find good riding pants, so I'm stoked these perform so well. Again, I have links to all of these 7 Mesh items over at Jensen USA in the description down below, and I'd really appreciate it if you begin your online shopping with those links as well. Like I mentioned, those links help support my channel. Thank you all for your attention, and I'll see you in the comments just below. If you enjoyed this video, I try my best to be as honest and transparent as possible, and I would really appreciate it if you'd hit the subscribe button down below, and go ahead and share this video with a friend of yours that could stand to get themselves a new chamois. Thanks, everyone.